tell me what to do. Know who you're talking to. Well, you better get used to the way the war bounces. I see what you got, invasions and ounces. But that's a break, boy. Yeah, that's a break, little man.
Welcome back to this episode of Cope's Corner. I am your host, as always, Mike Copenaber, aka Real Mike. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch at Cope's Corner, KOPESKORNER. Stoked to be here with you to talk about some MMA from last week and this week. I got the MMA legend himself from Periscope OG, Mr. B, the MMA guy. Stoked to be here with you, Mr. B. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. And as always, we have Mr. B back. We got the green light in the back. So that means we cashed motherfucking bets last week. So let's go, baby. Cash that max bet on Nico Price. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But first and foremost, I want to thank my sponsors. So I'm going to have us pop out and then I will do the business. But the first sponsor that I would like to thank is Melon Brand Hats. It's a luxury line of hats. It's MELIN. It's a dope line that my buddy Brian McDonald in high school came up with, and I knew that it'd be unlike anything else that you've ever seen. They make really cool stuff that are waterproof, some that are winterproof, some that are like the one on my head right now. It has the suede bill underneath, got leather on the top, got the rose gold emblem. Just really, really cool stuff that my boy dreamed up and has just sponsored some big dudes like Phil Mickelson, Michael Chandler, and the like. So let's go, baby. Get yourself a melon hat and separate yourself from the crowd. Next up, we have Fokai Stuff. It's FOKAI stuff.com. It's amazing stuff from Guam. It's my boy Rome came up with this line of gear, island vibes. They have shirts, they have baby blankets, they have backpacks, they have socks I sport, they have a doormat ever since we're about. And I'm just really, really stoked to be having them, as a sponsor, because I've been sporting them since literally ever since my brother was back in the Ultimate Fighter season 6. I used to drive down to San Diego, drive 2.5 hours just to get some of their gear. So really stoked with that. I appreciate the 8070 here already live. Justin Williams up in the mix, the first to chat, one of the first to chat. So I appreciate you being here, my dude. 808 boy, brother. The next up is on the sponsors. It's Spliff Seeds Amsterdam. It's MJ Genetics. It's the picture featured is of Lemon Cream Kush female. The actual picture featured is of a plant that I grew, and that's on the cover of a book from a famous UK grower named Sean Prana, Prana. So make sure you go give him some love and get that book, and make sure you get yourself some genetics for the growing season. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my boy Justin L from Vancouver, my boy Ryan Richardson. The newest sponsor, dude from San Diego, cashed some parlays that I did for him. I've known him a long time. We met when I literally in Vegas when me and my brother fought the Ultimate Fighter season 6 in the finale, and I cashed a bunch of money on my brother as an underdog versus J-Rock Jared Rollins. So just thankful for all the sponsors and every single person that makes this show possible. So first up, we're going to jump into UFC Fight Night 38, which was Santos versus Walker. And man, this card was it was all right. I wasn't would I give it like a 7 or an 8? What did you say, Mr. B?
Yeah, around 7 or 8. Yeah,
that's
not bad.
Nothing crazy, nothing spectacular. But I'll rip through some of the results. So we'll get through I'll go through our bets as always to be transparent. And the first fight of the night, we had Alejandro Perez, baby, with a modified armbar. Right? Am I tripping out right now? Yeah. Modified armbar versus Johnny Eduardo. Absolutely sick finish that he finished him in round 2. Crazy that you see him do that to a Brazilian like Johnny Eduardo. But Alejandro Perez, we were high on him in the beginning of the week. So he looked good, there in that fight, Mr. B?
Yeah, man. Really looks real good. Yeah. Got that man down. Used a bit of the takedowns and whatnot, man. Fought a lot smarter. Yeah, fought a lot smarter and did his thing. So props to him.
Yep. And then so the next fight of the night, second bout, was Stephanie Egger took on Shanna Young. And I know my boy, I had the I guess the honor of being on Die Hard Podcast MMA. It's one of my favorite MMA podcasts this week with my boy Clint, who actually cashes bets like I'm just a legend, man, with some of the stuff that he does. He did not like this bet coming or this fight here with Shanna Young totally cheeseballed for him. Really disappointed him on his bet, so he was not happy there. So Stephanie Egger looked good though, man, for a round 2 ground and pound finish of Shanna Young. Don't want to get too far in it, but yeah, Egger looked good. Next fight, Silva de Andrade took on Gaetano Perello. And, like me and Mr. B said, dude, Andrade was going to be way, way too much. He got rid of that bum in the first round, KO, TKO, counter left hook, and just silenced that dude. That was a pretty fun bout to watch, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward, man.
Yeah.
They threw hands.
Easy
man
money.
threw the leg kick. Yep. Left hook. Boom.
Yep.
Flatline, man.
Really easy money. So next fight of the night was Jamie Malarkey took out Devontae Smith, KO, TKO punches in round 2. And man, I was not expecting Devontae Smith to look this bad, and especially to get finished at that.
Yeah.
So Jamie Malarkey looked good. Give him props. Killed it in the 155-pound division and got a finish. Looked super, super good. So the next fight of the night was Carol Rosa took on Beth Correa. We just like we said, man, Carol Rosa was just going to be too much for her. The odds showed that as well. It wasn't like I'm, a genie telling you something though different. Carol Rosa dominated, unanimous decision. Beth just looked like Beth does. So I'm not a huge fan. The next fight of the night, Casey O'Neill. She took out Shevchenko light, like I've been talking shit about for a long time. She ain't my wife, the real Shevchenko. She's Shevchenko light, and she got wiped out. KO, TKO, ground and pound, round 2. King Casey O'Neill. This chick's a bad B, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of people talk about her striking, man, but it's her ground game that's very scary, man. When she gets you down, she gets top position, it's a wrap. It's a scary, scary thing. She's just relentless, yo.
Yeah, so the next So the next bout of the night was our first bet of the night, and sadly it was a loss. Jared Gordon defeated Joe Solecki via a 3-round decision. Joe Solecki, he did almost everything we needed for him to get a W, except for in the 3rd round. Jared Gordon showed a little bit of experience in cardio and kind of pushed through towards the end and got that decision. And so for the first time in a while, and maybe since I can remember, we took a 1.25 unit L with me and Mr. B, but it didn't stop there, baby. We got it right back on our next bet, so don't trip. We got you. What do you think about Jared Gordon defeating our bet there with Joe Solecki? You were actually high on Gordon. Actually, let me take this back. You liked Gordon. I was on Solecki, but I said you were being biased because you were from the Bronx. I said you're from the Bronx, baby. He's from Queens, New York. You're from the Bronx. I was like, you just like your boy over there. You were right, though.
Yeah, man. It was a close fight, though. It was a close fight. Not for nothing, man. Solecki was doing his thing, man. It's just the 3rd round. That's all it was, man.
Yeah, the first round was Joe looked sick, but
oh my God,
it's a 3-round fight though. So
yeah.
It is what it is, and transparent as can be. First time we took an L together that I can remember in over 2 months. So 1.25 unit L right there with Joe Solecki, but is what it is, and that's the game. Next fight of the night, Alexander Hernandez took on Mike Breeden. And he did exactly what I thought he would do: beat the shit out of him via TKO KO and smashed him in round 1. He looks good when he looks good, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, man. The rebuild. I keep calling it the rebuild on Twitter. Yeah, his rebuild because since the tough losses against the ranked fighters, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they've just been trying to put him back up there. So it's a good fight for him, man. He looked real good. Landed that big right hand, man. Put that guy away. Dude, props to him, man.
Yeah, like I said, when he's the hammer, he's the hammer. But versus some competition where he was a negative 650 favorite, so you better do something like that when you dominate or when your number is that high. Next fight of the night was a shocker to me, in my opinion. Krzysztof Jotko versus Misha Cirkunov. Shocker in the sense of that Misha. And let me tell you firsthand, my brother did steroids. He admitted it. He talked about it openly. And so does Phil Baroni and the likes. But with this one here, man, the video is gone, huh? The heck?
Okay, it's back.
Okay, cool. So with this one here, Misha Serkinov lost his split decision versus Christoph Jocko. I'm not mad at the loss the Misha took, but Misha looks so deflated and so much like someone who used to take steroids for a long time and then stopped, and hence why he tried to drop down the weight classes because he was not as big with all the excess of testosterone in your body. That's just my opinion. What's up, my boy Ted Hicks in the chat? I appreciate you, dude. One of our active sponsors, one of the hosts of Late Night Parents, an absolute treasure and a treat to have as a sponsor and as a friend. So, shout out to you, Ted Hicks. And
Word, Ted.
but I also appreciate the 121 of you here live with me and Mr. B and the 2 awards, the 2 donations. I really can't thank you enough for them. They make the microphone look good, the broadcasting look good with the better internet. Like me, hopefully, like I said, we could have some fighters on one day on Mr. B, and hopefully, like get me and Mr. B not have to do work one day, but that would be a real goal. So we really appreciate you subscribing and doing what you do for us. So. But with that said, Christoph Jocko dominated Misha Serkinov a split decision. Misha looked flat as a 40,000-mile tire, and that's just the truth. The next fight of the night was LMLB, our girl from Australia. Appreciate you, girlie, always supporting us. The next fight was Nico Price, our boy, our max bet. If you guys got to tune in and make sure you stay tuned in my Twitter because some things change. I had a 1.75 unit bet on Nico Price originally on Wednesday night with Mr. B. I just kept thinking about it, and I said, "You're being a sissy. You need to sack up. You need to drop those balls. You need to stop being a little Girl Scout, and you need to drop the hammer." And that's exactly what I did. And I put the 5-unit max bet, the rare one, on Nico Price, and cashed that bet with the unanimous decision versus Alex Oliveira. But I was shitting bricks the whole time, guys. I'm sorry that I made you stress out that bad. I'm trying to get fights that are a little more clear than that, but we won. That's all that matters. To cash that bet, that's 2.75 units, me and Mr. B, the KOPE, back in the plus side for this event. That's the last bet of the event, so that made us a 1.5 unit plus for this event, so $150 positive for Cope's Corner, baby, and just me and Mr. B doing what we do. Huh, Mr. B?
That's right, man. That's right. And props to Nico, man. Nico went full clip, man.
yeah. Well, I didn't expect Alex Oliveira to look as good as he did. He came to bang, and he came to be here for real. I was hoping that I knew Nico would have a better jiu-jitsu edge on him. He got him down on the ground too. He just wasn't able to pass into a dominant submission position. But it was what it was. All I care about is cashing bets here. I don't care what it is, what it was. They're gonna cry either way, whatever what you do. But all we care about is you guys.
It's a fact. Oh no. Clipped out.
Like Fiend, all right? Trying to get in between, but we can't get too crazy. My lady watches. The next fight of the night was Kevin Holland took on Kyle Daukaus. And at first, I was at a wedding for this event. My buddy Brent Sua, he got married this weekend. It was an amazing event overlooking the water of Ventura, California, on the beach. I had my phone on the table trying to watch as many fights as I could. To be honest, Brent, I'm sorry. I might have had my phone in between my legs while you were walking down the aisle just so I could see my bet. Of course, Nico Price fight happens while he's walking down the aisle, bro. And I'm shitting bricks. I can't be comfortable and watch anything till this fight is over. And it's just, man, dude, thank God Nico won that because I probably would have not been happy at all. But back to the business. So I wasn't able to watch this thing completely. So I didn't know what everyone was talking about with Kyle Daukaus over Kevin Holland. Ended up in a no contest with an accidental headbutt. But if you were watching live and ended in a submission by rear naked choke, was that correct, Mr. B?
Yeah.
And so, so by rear naked choke. I'm sorry, Mr. B, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So by rear naked choke, but that was after they both went in and clashed heads, and really Kevin Holland got flash knocked out.
Yeah,
crazy, Mr. B. What did you think about this?
It was a crazy scenario. You know what I mean? Real bad clash of heads, and Kevin Holland really fell like face down, and then magically like he woke up. So people weren't really able to catch it, and because of the fact that he got up like that and still was able to defend, and then he fought Daukaus ended up getting the back end of submission. You know, they thought Darkus had it, but then the refs right after the fight, then the refs went and called it no contest. They're gonna run it back. Darkus is upset, but I think that was the right call. But they should have called it sooner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Man,
yeah,
I'd be upset too because both these guys don't get win money. You got to remember that. They both
right.
showed up. They both only got show money. They both got shorted win money. And it's kind of disappointing.
Right.
I was all on Kyle Dawkins. I bet him personally as a DGen bet myself off of the books of our show. And so I was at first disappointed because I saw what happened. I thought he won. But then I
Yeah.
watched it back and I was as unbiased as I could. And I was like, dude, that's so unfair. They both clashed heads. He got knocked out unconscious, man. It was iffy and scary as could be, man. And
Yeah.
it's hard. It's a hard job, man, for the refs in there. It's easy to say it while you're watching from the couch, but while it's happening, man, it's just hard to do that because even working on the ambulance as a medic, it's very hard to make those life or death decisions, and this is similar.
Right.
So, hello, Mel, or hello, Jackie girl. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the high world and a high award. I appreciate you, Mel B, for the one award. I appreciate all 134 of you here live and the 5 donos that you guys have given us. Really, really can't thank you enough. But that was the co-main event that ended in a little bit of controversy. Not what anyone else wanted to see, but it's also been rebooked for November 13th, I believe, right? Is that the date, Mr. B?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. So that was the co-main event. The main event was Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker. And this was the one where I was going back and forth, right, Mr. B, back and forth.
Yeah.
I just couldn't land on who exactly that I wanted. I can't even tell you who I ended up finished picking, but I think I'm pretty positive I had Thiago Santos just because I like the XP and the non-chin of Walker. But you were kind of scaring me with the athleticism of Johnny Walker. But Thiago Santos defeated Johnny Walker in a 5-round decision. I thought it was fair, and that was exactly what happened. But it wasn't. I didn't think it was that exciting. Did you, Mr. B?
No, I didn't. And shame on SBG Ireland. I'm getting tired of these people. I'm getting tired of Kavanaugh and all
Mr.
those
B,
folks
of course
over there.
It's cutting your sound out.
Oh, I was saying, I'm sorry. You hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
I was saying I'm upset with SBG and Coach Kavanaugh and all them. In mid-fight, they told this man to become a point fighter. Like,
Dude.
What are you doing? You have a KO artist like him, and you have this man trying to point fight the
Crazy,
aggressive
right?
Thiago Santos. What? Like, yo.
Unreal, bro.
And it's not like he's gonna go in there and just power punch his whole way. He's a smart fighter. He's fought more experienced guys. Like, come on now, man.
Yeah,
It was just
it's kind of disappointing
man.
when you see a guy that as a he's explosive as Johnny Walker is. He is fun, but this was a tough matchup for him though. So either way, Thiago Santos defeated Johnny Walker via 5-round decision, and that was the main event for UFC Vegas 38. We had 2 bets on this event. We ended 1-1, and thank God my staggering Nico Price with the max bet ended up covering the Joe Selecki loss. We ended up ending up at $150 positive, 1.5 units added to the bankroll. So let's go, baby. Nothing new when me and Mr. B are doing our thing. This week, the Contender Series was so exciting that we have to cover it because Mr. B was so excited while he was streaming. When I walked in I was like 2 or 3 fights. I think it was 2 or 3 fights in. Mr. B was just so fired up and amped about how good everything has been. And I didn't, if you didn't watch it immediately live, there's no way you could have understood what he was talking about. But the first fight of the night for the week 6 of the Dana White's Contender Series, if you don't know, is on Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first fight of the night was Gerardo Valdez versus Patrick White, 155-pound fight. How did you like this fight, Mr. B?
Oh my God. These two they lost their damn minds, man. That first round was the most wildest first round I've seen on the Contender Series in quite a while. Those dudes were just going back and forth, back and forth.
Garbage. Your audio cut out again. Hopefully it's not for their side. Hey, Mel B, can you hear Mr. B talking right there?
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm just curious
Okay.
if the fans can hear you. I
Okay.
appreciate the 140 here live that are here watching us. Sometimes I don't know what Haps likes is doing,
Oh,
but sometimes
I
it,
don't know.
it glitches the screen or it cuts Mr. B out. But if anyone
Yeah.
was live on the chat, if you could tell me if you heard Mr. B there, or if
Oh.
he did cut out.
If you, I don't know.
Go
I'm gonna say, it was it was insane first round, man. One of the wildest first rounds I think we've seen in the Contender Series in quite a while. These dudes were going back and forth. Both of them damn near gassed out in the first round. Now I don't know how they managed the second round. This
Dude.
dude Valdez comes in with the energy.
White gave his all in round one, bro.
Oh my
At
God.
the end, I rewatched it. At the end of round one, I know exactly the feeling that he had because I looked at my brother War Machine a couple of times while we were training, while we were working out, and I'm fucking done. I'm done. There's nothing left. There's nothing. I'm not doing nothing more. I don't even know if I want to be here. I'm passing out. And if you go back and watch it, Patrick White at the round one, he looked at his motherfucking corner and he's just like, no.
Yeah, he was shaking his head like, yo, I'm not. No.
So then what happened, Mr. B? So White almost finished Valdez end of round one, and then what happened, Mr. B? Sorry.
They came in. Valdez took a deep breath. That Aztec warrior showed up. That man put the beats on this guy White.
He smoked that guy, bro. He might be named Patrick White, but he's black as black, and he smoked that dude, bro. Smoked him, bro.
God.
Oh man, it was crazy. That Valdez got that finish, but I feel bad for Patrick White, man. He was a plus 375 underdog, so he wasn't supposed to even be that close, and he almost did it, man. He was so nervous at the beginning of the fight. His corner forgot his cup, and I believe it was for his crotch, and so like he was, it was all scatterbrained, and he could tell he went for broke. An amazing fight to start the night. So Patrick White ended up losing to Genaro Valdez. The next fight of the night was Joseph Holmes versus Shante Barnes.
Oh shit! Mike went out. Mike went out real quick. I think we both gonna go out, right?
Dude, Haps is butter right now.
You good now?
All right, we good?
Yeah.
All right, so the second fight of the night was Joseph Holmes took out Shante Barnes in a rear naked choke by submission in round two. How was this fight, Mr. B?
This fight was pretty good, man. A little even on the first round. Barnes was trying to go in there, throw some big shots. Holmes was working. Holmes, I seen a previous fight of his where he likes to work a lot behind the jab, but he didn't really use the jab much. He used a lot of kicks here and there to keep distance and whatnot. Shante tried to get in there. They clinched up a little bit the first round. The second round, though, Holmes managed to get the work and get the takedown. And then it was just all submission game from there because he has a nasty submission game.
Yeah.
And that man just, godly, man, just caught this man Shante with a rear naked choke. There was a wrap. It was like,
dude. Of course it cut out. Yeah, but sorry guys, the technical difficulties with the Haps or something's going on. It's crazy. Like I said, my internet is insane too. So I can it's upload at 25, so I don't even get it. Sorry, Mr. B. I think you cut out.
Right.
Yeah, so Joseph Holmes ended up winning a submission by rear naked choke, but these guys were going at it before that, and Joseph Holmes ended up getting better of it. The next fight was Fernie Garcia took out Joshua Weems, KO TKO overhand right to ground strikes in round one. How was this fight to be?
Oh my God. First of all, I'm super happy for Fernie Garcia. Been a fan of this man since I first seen him on LFA. Hyped when he got the opportunity. This fight was everything I wanted to see, man. Fernie came out there, and I joke tweet with him about this because he has this susceptibility to leg kicks, but it's because he's so damn aggressive with his boxing. He came out. He went to throw the hands.
Mr. B, but I'm not positive.
Let me see. Hold up.
Mel B, are you still there?
You hear me? You hear me now? You hear me now?
So you said he was susceptible to leg kicks. I think that was the last thing that I heard in my
you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So he took a couple leg kicks in the opening. He took one like heavy leg kick. He fell. He tipped over. He fell. Got right back up. And just started throwing the hands, man. He's relentless with the hands. He has a pretty good chin on him. And he kept with the forward pressure. After he kept landing, Weaves was trying to throw in a little bit. They got caught up, tangled a little bit. Then eventually Garcia got him against the cage. He was throwing. Then all of a sudden lands this nasty overhand. Like he put his whole life into this overhand and just drops Weaves and then just rains on him until they stop the fight. And you can see Weaves was so upset. Like he was talking all this trash. And it's like, bro, you got stopped. That's it. You know what I mean? Sucks to say, but you got stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. It was an initial check left hook that ended up hitting Joshua Weems that started a little bit of the equilibrium balance, but then it was a big overhand right behind the ear that really kind of sent Joshua Weems down. And ended his night. He was all bitter, beer face after. He reminded me of what was that? We were just talking about Raposo, Mitch Raposo, who's going to be on the next Dana White Contender Series. That was on the Ultimate Fighter, who was QQing about his first loss in the Ultimate Fighter season 29 this year, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, so the next fight of the night was Carlos Hernandez in the 125-pound division, won a split decision versus Daniel Perez.
Oh shit! It is jumping out a little bit.
Mel B, is it glitching for you too?
Yeah, glitching.
Yeah. So yeah, Carlos Hernandez took out Daniel Perez in a split decision. Was that any entertaining at all? I don't remember seeing that one.
Back and forth, just back and forth to decision, but it was just so back and damn forth, man. What it was, Baez.
Dude, Haps is killing us with the audio today, though. So
both of these dudes were
either way.
man.
since that bout was back and forth and ended in a split decision, I don't think they got a contract, but you'll correct me later on. The last bout of the night was one that was worth talking about. Mike Malott took out Shimon Smolinski by guillotine choke, a submission, round one, and just smoked the dude before he could do absolutely anything. Mike Malott from Team Alpha Male looked good, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, man. You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, pretty straightforward, man. These dudes were standing. This dude, Smolinski, went for a takedown attempt. Malott grabbed the neck. Most nastiest guillotine choke you could put on somebody. It was a wrap. That was it. Oh my god, it was horrible, man. You want to talk about nasty?
He re-gripped and then ended up just really wrenching that guillotine choke and subbing him, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, man. Golly.
The glitch rate again, Mr. B. It's crazy, bro.
Oh my god. You hear me again?
Well, I'm sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. Like I said,
yeah, it keeps
never know what's going to happen with live streaming. But either way, Mike Malott ended up winning, and then they ended up giving four contracts this night. And they were
they gave five. They gave five. They gave the 4 fight. Yeah.
Okay, so you named the 5 that they gave him to.
Yeah, they get no. They gave 4. They gave Hernandez a contract. They didn't give
Oh, that's right. It would have been
Holmes a fight. They didn't give Holmes a contract, but they gave Hernandez one.
Okay, so name the 4 that got a contract.
So it was Mike Malott, Carlos Hernandez, my guy Fernie Garcia, and Genaro Valdez.
Nice. And then Holmes got really kind of shorted. He's going to have, I guess Dana White's looking for a fight. He's going to have a chance to redeem himself next month, which he's kind of sad about that. So, but either way, it is what it was. It was a pretty good night for the Contender Series week 6. It was worth talking about. So I figured that we would jump into it. So I appreciate all 174 of you live and the 5 donos. Really, really can't thank you guys enough. What's up, Gary? Appreciate you being here, my dude. Thanks always for supporting the show. So this weekend's UFC Vegas 39 features Dern versus Rodriguez as the main.
Oh my god. Damn you, Haps.
We had as many viewers as they needed. So either way, the first fight of the UFC Vegas 39. Can you hear me, Mr. B?
Oh, I hear you.
No.
You hear me?
Cute.
Oh my God.
Gary, can you hear
You
me?
hear me?
Or did it glitch?
It glitched.
Yeah,
But-
I hear you. I hear you now. Okay, so either way, UFC Fight Night Vegas 39. Sorry, my guys and girls, it's a live stream, so it is what it is. I'm over in California, my boy is over in New York, so we make it an East Coast West Coast collab like Tupac and Biggie. The first
Word.
fight of UFC Vegas 39 is Charlie Ontiveros takes on Steve Garcia. Charlie Ontiveros is 11-7. He called himself the American Bad Boy. by slam and neck injury. Really wicked spot that he got put in by Kevin Holland, but that was at 185-pound division. So what's weird about this fight is that he's taken on Steve Garcia in 155-pound division. So we went from 185 pounds to 155. Mr. B, is it? Are we good, Gary?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. It's just crazy. Like I don't know if I'm good or not, and I can't even flow because of because of half.
It just keeps chopping. Yeah, it keeps chopping.
Crazy, bro. So either way, Charlie Ontiveros versus Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is called the Mean Machine. He's 11-4. He's 29 years young. He's 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. Fight at Jackson Week MMA. He last took on Luis Pena. And he lost a unanimous decision. And then he took on Jose Mariscal, and he won by knees and elbows in round 2. Steve Garcia, though, is fought in the 135-pound division. He's now fighting 155 pounds. So we got two guys going. We got one guy going from 185 pounds down to 155. Then we got a guy who's fought 135. He's at 155 now. The odds on this fight right now is Steve Garcia is at the 310 money line. Negative 310 for Steve Garcia, plus 240 for Charlie Ontiveros. I don't like this bet at all for anyone putting Steve Garcia in a parlay or straight. I think there's a lot of questions to be asked here. How's the power going to translate for Charlie Ontiveros down at that lower double weight class drop? And how is Steve Garcia going to be able to take that power going up a couple weight classes? Negative 310 after a loss. There's no way that I could bet Steve Garcia at a negative 310. But Charlie Ontiveros has really got a karate stance, really wide base. He throws some really fun kicks. He's going to be exciting. I'm dog or pass on this. What do you think, Mr. B?
Yeah, I got to agree with you on this one, man. It's one of those fights where you don't want to bet. You're not sure. But I'd go with you on this one. I go with you on this one 100%.
Yeah, like I said, there's not much to talk about. There's no bet, and there's really this is kind of lower class MMA. If you F this fight betting wise. That's what my boy Gary MMA said. Gary Boxing MMA 365. I appreciate you, my dude. Yeah, F this fight. If you're betting that fight, you're a bum. Weak. But the next fight of the night is Lupita Godinez. She was supposed to take on another opponent, but now she's taking on Silviana Juarez. Lupita Godinez is 5-1. She is 28 years young, 5'2", with a 61-inch reach. She's on a 1-fight losing streak. She last took on Jessica Penne and lost the split decision, in which was really sketchy in my opinion. I thought that she won this fight. I don't know how they gave her the win for control time, just taking the back of a girl with no damage, no real submission attempts, no nothing. But Lupita Godinez for 2 rounds was throwing Jessica Penne around like a DV case. It was insane that she was doing to this girl. I like Lupita Godinez. She is now working with the veteran Sarah Kaufman, who's got a decent ground game and all around MMA game. She is also working with Alexa Grasso, who's a Mexican striker, who's who I'm fond of. So I like Lupita Godinez, but she's taking on Silviana Juarez, who's fought 10-2, way more experience and way better than the person she was going to fight, in my opinion. She's 36 years old, though, 5'3" with a 63-inch reach. She's on a 3-fight winning streak herself. She last took on Gilcy Perea, who was 4-6, folks, and won in round 2. Then she beat a girl with 6-4, Diana Reyes, punches round 1. brought this girl in to get beat up, in my opinion. What do you think, Mr. B?
This is a funky fight. You hear me?
Yep, you're good.
This is a funky fight, man. This is very funky because you're talking about, all right, Juarez is older than Lupita, and Lupita is a muscle in the division, in the strawweight division.
Yep.
She has that strong wrestling game. The thing that's crazy though is Juarez trains with the homie. Oh my god, I forget my guy's name, man.
Take your time.
Alejandro Perez.
Yeah.
And the assassin baby himself. You know what I mean?
Brandon Moreno.
Yes, there you go. So it's very tricky to gauge how this fight's gonna go, man. So you understand there's a jiu-jitsu game going on there with her. So it's gonna be that muscle of Godinez's wrestling and her boxing against Silvana's boxing and jiu-jitsu. I want to say Lupita could take this if Lupita just plays her game, but it will be a tricky one. Juarez does have double the experience though, and she has the submission game, as I said. But damn, it's a tricky one to pick. It's very tricky.
Yeah, it really is, and especially late notice. It seems like they're kind of just throwing. It seems like they're throwing this girl to a lion. But in hindsight, this girl's tough as can be. I think that this is not. I would not bet this fight, and I would not trust this fight. So if you are, you're crazy. But the plus 170 underdog is Juarez versus Lupita Godinez. Thank you. At the negative 210 favorite, I have to favor the fighter who had more experience, fought the better opponents, and it still was here ready to make weight. Yeah. So I appreciate you, Ryan Richardson, my active sponsor, just jumped in. Kick your bass. He just had a crazy, horrific accident, and he broke his collarbone. I really hope that you're okay, man. Yeah, he slipped off a dock over in Kansas City. So he's a professional fisherman, so it's really going to be putting a toll on him, and also a trucker. So I hope that you heal up. I appreciate you, and appreciate Award Mel B and Gary. You guys really, I can't thank you enough for supporting us. The next fight of the night, Charles Rosa is taking on Damon Jackson. Charles Rosa is 14-5. Mel B, can you hear me fine? I just want to thank the 193 here live, bearing with us with a little bit of technical difficulties that are going on. I don't know. It's funny. Not one person from HAPS is assisting in what we need right now, but it's crazy. But appreciate you guys. Charles Rosa is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a really decorated coach. I can't explain how amazing his coach is. He's he's a 6-degree black belt that was belted by Carlson Gracie, and his name is Ricardo Laboria. He's one of the founders of ATT and the Black Zillions. He's an absolute savage and an amazing jiu-jitsu coach is Charles Rosa's. Sorry for the little glitch, you guys. It's hard for me to stay focused when the little glitches go on. But yeah, so Charles Rosa is taking on Damon Jackson, who's a purple belt. He's 18-4-1. He calls himself the Leech. He's 33 years old. He's 5'11", won the 73-inch reach. He's on a one-fight losing streak. Fighting out of Fortis MMA, which is a really good camp. He last took on Ilya Tapura, though, when he lost round 1 to punches. And then he beat Mirsad Bektik, guillotine choke, round 3. So, this dude right here, though, he's lost a jumping knee before. He's lost to those punches that I just talked about. He has lost another punches again before, and reverse bulldog choke by Yancy Medeiros. I can't trust this guy, Damon Jackson. He's less experienced on the mat. The only thing he's got going for him is experience, and he does have a better ceiling. He's a negative 185 favorite over the plus 150 veteran Charles Rosa, the BJJ black belt. I have a hard time picking Damon Jackson here to win. I'm dog or pass on this. I'm going Charles Rosa and his BJJ black belt to get me by. What do you say, Mr. B?
I gotta agree. Damon Jackson, he's an on and off guy, man. He does have that jiu-jitsu, but he's kind of one of those guys where he's looking for the opportunity to get that jiu-jitsu, the striking and so. I think Charles Rosa could get his way to getting a TKO or a KO in this one. I agree with you on the dog or pass though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either take Rosa or just leave it alone. Yeah. Because Damon Jackson just got knocked out by a jiu-jitsu guy his last fight. So come on. Yeah, man. Take Rosa or just leave it alone. Yeah.
Mr. B, and to be a favorite. Jeez, dude. Haps is on something. Oh man, if this continues, I'm gonna have to go to StreamYard because I just don't know what else to do. So Charles Rosa taking on Damon Jackson. You got a Charles Rosa, huh, Mr. B?
Yeah, I'm taking Rosa.
Yeah, sorry guys. Like I said, we can't even just cutting Mr. B off, and I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, Gary, I don't know when it's cutting. So like all of a sudden I Mr. B's in my ear and then he disappears. So then I think you guys don't have him too.
Yeah,
so
it's the same thing. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah.
So I don't want to cut him off, and I don't want to have dead space for the fans. So we try to do the best we can for a live show. It is what it is.
Right.
But I appreciate the 204 of you here live that are supporting us in the 10 donations, donos. The next fight of the night should be some actual fun. Alexander Romanov takes on Jared Vandenera. And man, Alexander King Kong Romanov, here on Cope's Corner and on my former show, MMA for Money, that me and my boy Mikey Gills absolutely loved Alexander Romanov. My boy, also your favorite garbage man on Twitter, Bob, was the host as well, so don't want to exclude him. But Alexander Romanov, we've been big fans. I bet him multiple times to win. We've cashed bets here at Cope's Corner on him. But this time, last time he scared the shit out of me. He fought Juan Espino, and he won a very, very shady decision that ended up being go to the judges because of, I believe, a groin strike or an eye poke. I can't remember off my head. But he's fighting Alexander Romanov is fighting Jared Vanderaa. Jared Vanderaa is a very big dude, but he's very sloppy in my opinion, and I'm not a big fan of him. The odds right now have my boy King Kong at a -650 favorite over the +425 Jared Vanderaa. I agree. I don't know if it's me being rude like I was to Ben Parrish, and I don't like Vanderaa. So I don't know now if I'm leaking that into Jared Vanderaa and me trying to be nice. I don't like Jared. I don't like anything about him. I don't like his ground game. I don't like his stand-up. I don't like his body. I just don't like anything about the guy. He's just so sloth-like. And I'm sorry to be rude. He just is. The way he speaks, the way he answers questions, the way that he just does everything. It's so just weird. Alexander Romanov, I think, is going to be able to get Jared Vanderaa down and just absolutely dominate him in round one. But the money line, I do not like. I do not like the experience factor Jared Vanderaa has. The only reason I don't like it is because Juan Espino scared the shit out of me last time with King Kong. Who do you have, Mr. B?
This is tricky. Romanov is big. Romanov is nasty with his wrestling. Vanderaa is improving with his striking. But Sergey Spivak beat him. And if Sergey could beat him with the same skill set that he possesses, then I think Romanov could do the same because Sergey is more of a wrestler himself. Vanderaa has learned to do high level striking, not high level, but like high output striking. He did that against Tafa. But Tafa sits there. I don't think Romanov's going to give him those opportunities. This one is another tricky one, but I could lean more towards Romanov here. Yeah,
I do too. I can't really bet this one here, but I'm gonna be wishing my boy Clint at the Die Hard Podcast MMA. This is one of his legs of two fights he needs is of a 7-unit bet, I believe he has. So he needs he needs Alex Romanov, and he needed someone else later in the card. So I hope that he cashes that. The next fight of the night is Chris Gutierrez versus Felipe Colares, and this is a fight that I'm all about, and this is a fight that I'm throwing down a bet. I have my boy Chris Gutierrez, who's 16-3-2, taking on Felipe Colares, who's 10-2, and I believe my boy Chris Gutierrez is going to do absolutely damaging things to him. Right now, the odds makers at Bovada, they have Chris Gutierrez at a -265 money line, a +210. It's steep to some people, But just like last week, sometimes you just got to, when you know, and you got to go and you got to throw that money down. And I'm throwing down the 2.65 units on Chris Gutierrez to absolutely smoke Felipe Colares. The way that this dude, Chris Gutierrez, throws down is absolutely savage. The way he throws kicks, the way he switches stances, the way he pressures forward, the way his cardio works. This dude is an absolute treat and a savage of an MMA fighter. He's taking on Felipe Colares, though, so Felipe Colares is no joke. He's 10-2. He's a BJJ black belt himself and a black belt in judo. So I'm not just like saying all that Colares is a bum. He's not. He has sick jiu-jitsu, sick transitions, and sick submissions. But the problem is that Colares is very, very hittable. He last took on Cool Hand Luke Sanders. He ended up winning a fight, but man, he was getting pummeled in the first round by the straight left of the southpaw of Cool Hand Luke Sanders. And because of that, I like that Chris Gutierrez switches stances. I like that Felipe Colares will be open to the left side kick to his liver. I like that he'll be open to a head kick. I like that he'll be getting battered on his lead leg that he leaves out there so heavily. I like Chris Gutierrez here to do absolute damage. Much like last week, we're cashing bets, baby. I got Chris Gutierrez. Who do you got, Mr. B?
Yeah, I can't add nothing else. You pretty much nailed this one on the head, man. Yeah, Gutierrez. I'll take Gutierrez all day on this one, man. Gutierrez is a frustrating guy to fight against, man. He's good with that kickboxing. If he's down, he knows how to come back and pick up these wins. Those kicks are devastating, man. Colares, I don't like either because Colares, he has a lengthy set of decision wins going on. Decision wins and losses going on right now. And a lot of the guys have managed to just pretty much keep this man on the feet for the most part and beat him up. Just maintain top position if it gets on the ground and just do your thing. And I think Gutierrez has the remedy for all that. You know what I mean? So
I 100% agree.
Gutierrez.
And this week is a really weird card. I like to win. And if I don't have a good money lines and I don't want to throw out a bunch of units for no reason and just fire for no reason. I think I'm only going to be firing on Chris Gutierrez unless something happens a little bit later in the night right now while we speak that gets me more fired up because I'm putting down the 2.65 units on Chris Gutierrez because I want to be smart. I just want to clear that one unit for the show and just keep padding our bankroll as we go and keep me and Mr. B streak alive. I think I might just throw out that one, even though it might be a little hefty. I like him as a max bet to show you how much I like him. But because I just went through a max bet last week that was a little bit closer than I would have liked, I'm not going to fire two max bets in a row. But when I tell you that I like Chris Gutierrez for the max bet, I fucking love it. I would hit it and quit it, baby. He's going to smash him, dude. But the next fight of the night, I want to tell you guys, I'm not going to bring up the actual visuals of the fighters any closer because it seems like Haps is not liking the extra, zooming and whatever is going on. So we're having better luck, it seems, as I've not zoomed in on the fight matchup. So it is what it is. You can still get the breakdowns. The first fight of the main card is Phil Hawes. He's taking on Darion Nguyen. Phil Hawes is 11-2, and Darion Nguyen is 7-2. Darion Nguyen, a great wrestler, a great collegiate wrestler here in America, if not for sure a D1 wrestler that was really, really decorated. We call him Mini DC basically. But this dude fights in the middleweight division, and he probably should fight at 170, if not 155, if he was disciplined. I think that Darion Nguyen this is not good for him. Phil Hawes is an absolute beast himself. He was a collegiate wrestler himself and a national junior college champion at 197 pounds, I believe it was, at Iowa Central. So Phil Hawes wrestling is, to me, is equal to Darion Nguyen's, especially because of the size. Phil Hawes is a true middleweight. Darion Nguyen is not. So even if Darion Nguyen has a slight technical advantage over Hawes, I have Hawes' strength overpowering that little technique that an offset Darion Nguyen, and also the hands of Phil Hawes are way more powerful and way more precise. So I like Phil Hawes here to win this fight over Darion Nguyen. Right now, the odds makers have Phil Hawes at a -310 favorite. So you need to throw $310 to make 100. Plus 240 on Darion Nguyen. I like Phil Hawes. I think he's almost good enough for a parlay piece. What do you say, Mr. B?
Yeah, I stick with you on this one. I have my own gripes with Darion Nguyen. 5'6", 70-inch reach. This man should definitely be fighting at welterweight. Why is he fighting at middleweight is beyond me. Every fight he's had, except for the Arroyo fight, and everybody knows how I feel about Antonio Arroyo. They cut him, thank God. Deron Wynn has had struggled in every fight, man. Every fight. He even fought Eric Spicely in his debut and struggled. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's just that, this fight here, man, I will be thoroughly surprised if Deron Wynn wins this fight.
I really
Hall
will.
is too big of a guy, man. Too big of a guy.
I agree, man.
I see Hall's getting a finish in this fight. I'll be surprised if it goes to a decision.
I 100% agree. And I think that inside the distance, so Phil Haas would be worth throwing the money on since he's a negative 310. Maybe you could get a negative 180-ish number or so on him on that inside the distance. I want to thank the 270 here live that have been tuning in to me and Mr. B Rip It for this mixed martial arts event, UFC Vegas 39. I really, really can't thank you guys enough for, sticking through the little glitches and being here to catch these bets, because literally all we do has been winning when Mr. B's up here on the mic with Mike. So make sure you tune in every single Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, to cash those bets with us. The next fight of the night is Maria Agapova versus Sabina Mazo. Maria Agapova is 9-2, and Sabina Mazo is 9-2 herself. And Maria Agapova, she's known as a negative 1,400 favorite that lost to Shanna Dobson. Absolutely incredible win for Shanna Dobson. Shanna Dobson felt so disrespected that she went out there and just bullied Agapova and ended up winning and cashing as a huge, huge underdog for people. I did not see that coming at all. I believe Dobson ruined my verdict, or she ruined my DraftKings. She ruined my parlay. She ruined everything when Agapova lost on that one. But Sabina Mazo is a very Gumby-like, and I don't mean to be offensive. She's built exactly like Gumby, and the way she plots forward and the way that she can be hit is very Gumby-esque. So I'm not a big fan of Sabina Mazo, and like I said, when I'm not a big fan of fighters, I try not to bet those type of fights because my bias will push me so far forward. Like on this one, I kind of wanted to bet Agapova plus 145 underdog, negative 175 favorite for Mazo. I don't think so. I think that line's off. I think there should be a negative 110 pick'em. I think if Agapova, who was a negative 1,400 favorite over Dobson, didn't lose to Dobson, she would be a much bigger favorite, if not if a closer line anyways. I'm thinking that Agapova is going to win here and actually display some striking skills on Mazo's face, who's very hittable and very cuttable with her white pale skin. Who do you got here in the 125-pound bout, Mr. B?
I want to fight you because of what you just said. But, oh man, is that I'm a fan of Sabina Mazo.
I'm offensive. I know. I'm sorry, folks. This is what it is. I do what I do.
I'm a fan of Sabina Mazo, but like you said, Sabina has not looked so great in the UFC, man. She looks so cool regionally wise, you know what I mean, LFA and whatnot. But the UFC has just been a weird thing for her, man. She did get that win against Justine Kish, I think it was. Mm-hmm. But she lost against Alexis Davis. Marina Moroz beat her. She got a win against Dobson, but that's to be expected. The Aldrich fight was a split decision. Agapova, she lost to Dobson, but she has a better, she has better speed and, better closing in for these finishes than Mazo. This is a very tricky fight to another tricky fight on here to really figure out. I want to say Maria Agapova could take this one here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mazo were to win by a decision. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but that's why it's a hard bet. Like I can't throw. It's low. It's kind of low level women's MMA in my opinion. I just can't throw a bet on that for you guys. But I do like Agapova. I think she's gonna win. I think the money line is off. And so with that said, do what you want to do with that. It's not a bet for the show. The bet for the show is Chris Gutierrez by stoppage, domination, just breaking Felipe Colares' legs down, please, on the floor, crying like a little girl. That's the type of fights I love to fight or bet on, baby. So decorated striker and won and did not look bad at all. He won my heart that night. Tim Elliott, though, on the other hand, former tough veteran, been in there with the best of them, shocked us a few times, trains with James Krause and has them as a coach. I absolutely love them. But Tim Elliott, let's just get facts straight. He's only a blue belt. And I'm not hating on blue belts. I'm hating on that Tim Elliott's been a pro this long, and he's still a blue belt. Like, he should be a purple belt by now. Is this audio still good, Mr. B? Okay. So he's still, Elliott's still a blue belt. Mateus is a black belt. He's got good hands. He's shown it versus Manel Cape. I like Mateus Nicolau in this bet or in this bout. He's right now the -200 favorite, so he needs $200 to make 100. Was that audio okay, Mr. B or Gary?
Yeah, we're good now. You kind of went out a little bit, but then you came back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So Nicolai's a -200 favorite versus the +160 Elliott. I see why people are trying to throw money on Elliott. He is very scrambly. The transitions are sick and all that.
Yeah.
Very elusive, very not dangerous. He's just very tricky and crafty. But Nicolau's, dude, not scared of him on the ground, and I don't think he's scared of him with the hands. I like Mateus Nicolau here, even at the -200. I like him, and so I'm going Mateus Nicolau for here, even though a lot of people are on Tim Elliott. Who do you have, Mr. B?
This is a good fight. I like this fight. Elliott has experience. He's fought the tougher opposition. But I think Nicolau is too fast for him. Nicolau is also a big kid, man. That is a big guy for 125. His frame, he has a pretty big frame, man.
Mm-hmm.
The range as well. So he's very tricky to try to grab hold of. His strikes, he has a diverse striking and the submission skills. I can see him being Tim Elliott on this one, man. For Tim Elliott to win, Tim Elliott's going to have to wrestle him. He's going to have to try to wrestle him for 3 rounds straight. I'm not sure if he can even get the 1 round in it, but...
Of course, it cut out right there.
It cut out? But, yeah, I'm going to go...
Did that cut out on you, Gary?
I'm going to go on Nicolau.
Yeah, you have Nicolau too, as well as me,
Yeah.
huh? Okay, awesome. Well, I want to thank the 217 people here live. I appreciate you being here with us for the UFC Vegas 39. And with that said, that was Tim Elliott versus Mateus Nicolau, and me and Mr. B both have Nicolau beating Elliott. But I have a rule here on the show. The reason why I wouldn't bet Nicolau right now is because of my rule. I can't bet the newer guy versus the OG. And in this position, Tim Elliott is the OG, and he doesn't have a low gas tank in the sense of he's a bum like I like to bet against.
No.
So it's hard for me to be like, I'm gonna go on Nicolau because I like him so much. If Nicolau was the more experienced person in the octagon, I would bet Nicolau 100%. But I have that rule and I stick to my guns. I can't bet the newer guy versus the OG because it's burnt me in the past. So with that said, the co-main event of the night, Randy Rude Boy Brown taking on Jared Gooden. Randy Rude Boy Brown is 13-4. Jared Gooden is 18-6. Dude, Randy Rude Boy Brown came to us as a young man, and now he's just grown before our eyes, and he's just deadly, explosive, super athletic. And Jared Gooden, on the other hand, he is too. He's a BJJ brown belt. He'll have the experience edge over Randy Brown on the jiu-jitsu side of things on the ground. But Randy Brown is so well-versed, and he's so long and so rangy. I just can't see Randy Brown losing to Jared Gooden, and I love Jared Gooden. He's an MMA good guy on Twitter. Half the Battle, my boy Dan Levy and Shaq, a great podcast, one of my favorites besides Die Hard Podcast MMA, and James Lynch. They sponsored James Gooden. They know him personally. They're all about him. I don't know if my love for Jared Gooden is getting in my way, but it is what it is. I really, really like Randy Brown here. He's a -230 favorite over the +185 Jared Gooden. I have Randy Rude Boy Brown to win here. What do you think, Mr. B?
This is such a good fight, and it's going to be a dog fight, man. Oh my God, Randy Brown, Jared Gooden. For people who didn't catch, man, y'all hear me? We good? Um, you hear me? Jared Gooden, man. I was saying, Jared Gooden, man, is such a dog. Last fight out he had, well, yeah, Nicholas Stolze. He knocked out Stolze. I
Oh,
like
that's
that
right.
debut.
Starched him, huh?
Yeah, I like that debut fight he had against Joe Ban. That was a nasty fight. And even though he lost against that dude Nurmagomedov, he was still trying to go in there for the win, man. Randy Brown does have that range, and he's been in some nasty fights himself. This is gonna be a real tough fight, yo. Um, I won't be surprised if there's a finish or a split decision in this one, but it's gonna be a real rough fight. Gooden's boxing is fire, and Randy Brown's kickboxing is really sick. So I know Randy Brown's out here though. He's from New York. Well, he fights out of New York. He was born in was it Massachusetts, I think, but he fights from out here. He fights from out of here. So I don't really have a pick, but whoever wins, man, is whoever wins.
Yeah, there's no
This
bet.
is gonna be
No bet doesn't matter, but you do want to watch this fight because this is gonna be a
yeah.
treat. I feel like there's gonna be some fireworks here. Probably one of my I'd say sleeper fight of the nights, but it's worthy of being up there as a co-main event, even though a lot of people don't know Jared Gooden as well. I appreciate the 224 live viewers here with me and Mr. B and the 10 donations that you guys have all given us. Really appreciate it. Please go to Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Like and subscribe and interact. It really helps so much. KOPESKORNER all over. Really, really thank you guys. Can't thank you guys enough. With that said, that's the co-main event. Randy Rude Boy Brown versus Jared Gooden. An absolute treat and something that you should just be watching because I can't pick the bet, even though I like Randy Rude Boy Brown. The next fight of the night is the main event. Marina Rodriguez is taking on Mackenzie Dern. Marina Rodriguez is 14-1-2. Mackenzie Dern is 11-1. Mackenzie Dern is a decorated, sick BJJ black belt who, if this fight gets on the ground, Marina Rodriguez is absolutely fucked, in my opinion. And then her striking has just absolutely improved under Jason Perello, one of the best coaches over here on the West Coast. Mike Bisping's striking coach, an absolutely amazing coach at that. He's been working with Mackenzie Dern and sharpening up her striking skills, and she's just been improving at a rapid rate. It's pretty incredible how well Mackenzie Dern has been improving in her striking. And then Marina Rodriguez on the flip side, her striking and her Muay Thai and her clinch and her damaging, her cardio, the damage she puts on is amazing. The only thing I'm scared for Marina Rodriguez is her, like, if she's on her back, she lays on her back in submission, just like you want your woman without any questions. And so I just don't like that. I love Marina Rodriguez. I love her, everything about her, but it's so hard for me to wonder if she's going to, don't worry, Gary, we're going to do the, Wilder Fury right after this, baby. Me and Mr. B got you covered. I got a little bit of the press conference for you to talk about for boxing. We try to do everything that's fun, anything exciting with combat sports. So we got you covered. Hello, Lynn. I appreciate you being here. As always, one of the Haps vets, beautiful lady who always supports as well. And so, so Marina Rodriguez taking on Mackenzie Dern. This is a tough one for me, man. I've been going back and forth. My heart's with Marina Rodriguez, but my brain is like, if Mackenzie Dern gets her on the ground, she's fucked. And I can't get that out of my head. So because of that, and the odds right now have Mackenzie Dern, that's a negative 170 favorite, plus 140 for Marina Rodriguez. Maybe I am right. So I'm going to stay with my gut, and I'm going with the BJJ black belt, Mackenzie Dern, that's improving rapidly with the striking under Jason Perello over Marina Rodriguez, who just seems to have the Achilles heel of being taken down and laying on her back. Who do you have in the main event, Mr. B?
Ooh, this one I was thinking about since Saturday. While we talk about these two here, they're both right there neck and neck in the division. as you say, Mackenzie got that high level jujitsu, man. No matter how bad it looks like on the feet, if she can take it to the ground, it's a wrap for any opponent. Marina Rodriguez, as you said, has the Muay Thai skills. But Jesus Christ, man, if she comes out there strong within the first minute, it could be a wrap from Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie has improved her striking though with Jason Perillo. Give her credit for that. She's looked pretty good on the stand up, but she always has that jujitsu in her back pocket, man, and she's able to pull guard against submissions. Jump on backs, whatever position she's at. She always has that jujitsu right there, and while Marina is kind of strong, she does pretty well for herself in trying and keeping fights standing. She has shown to be susceptible to getting taken to the ground. We've seen that against Cynthia Calvillo. We've seen that what was it, the Waterson fight?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was the Waterson fight. But yeah, man. I think Mackenzie is gonna come in here gelling her stand up and her takedowns. Get an opportunity on Marina. Probably catch Marina slacking while she's trying to throw something heavy, and go in there and get it. I wanna say Marina could probably get it done, but that's really tough thinking about how Mackenzie Dern is fighting out here right now. So I would more likely lean with Mackenzie Dern on this one. We'll be surprised if Marina gets caught. I mean, if Mackenzie gets caught slacking on the feet, but I think Mac will get it done. Mac Dern will get it done.
Yeah. It's just true. It's just this is why I'm not betting it. This is truly a tough one. If I wanted to bet, if I was to bet it, it's Marina dog or pass, because she does have the chance to fucking smash Mackenzie Dern's face. But if she lays on her back and gets subbed, I'll be pissed. So I can't do that to my fans. I can't do that to you guys when all we do is cash bets. And me and Mr. B been on an absolute domination roll. So with that said, I have Mackenzie Dern to win, but this is just this is striker versus grappler matchup. I feel like the Mackenzie Dern is her gap on the floor is way more advanced than it is on Marina, and Dern's striking is more advanced, if that makes sense. So because those gaps are so big, I have Mackenzie Dern here to win this fight. I just want to thank all 335 of you here live, the 11 donos that you guys have given us, tuning in me, Mr. B, through a couple technical glitches. And with that said, that's the main event of UFC Vegas 39, Marina Rodriguez versus Mackenzie Dern. For the ladies, make sure you go and support the women, man. Everybody wants equality, which I do as well. I have 3 beautiful sisters. But go support the women fighters. If you go and support the main, especially a main event. If you don't support the women that are fighting in the main event, then you're going to have guys mouthing off, talking crap, saying that they don't deserve it. When they're just a bunch of dumbasses who sit on the couch and drink beer and never worked out in their lives. So instead of those guys being on the mouth off, women support women, men support men, women support men, women support men, men support women. Everyone supports everyone. That's all I'm about. Love, kindness, and good vibes. So with that said, that's the main event of the UFC Vegas 39. And now we will jump into a little bit of the Tyson Fury Wilder 3 pay-per-view that's going down this Saturday. As we all know, Tyson Fury dominated the last fight versus Wilder 3. They had to throw the corner threw in the towel for Wilder during the last fight. And Wilder made all kinds of excuses. Oh, my wardrobe before I walked out weighed 1,000 pounds. My sniffles, my corner threw in the towel when the boss told him not to. I don't care about any of that. The Gypsy King Fury is coming for the soul of Wilder. He's going to put him down. I just truly believe it, that he's got him. He's got him mentally. He's got him spiritually, got him physically. And Fury's a bad, wicked dude. I don't know if he has some black magic or some voodoo skills, but this dude is an absolute monster. I'm all Fury all fucking day. Come back next week and I bet you Fury whoop Wilder's ass, baby. But with that said, this is a little bit of the press conference that they had. It's a 3 minute 8-second clip. We don't normally play stuff like this all the time, but I'm gonna do it for you because I like it. The audio is here as well. If it's not, make sure you text or send it in the chats and tell me it's not. But here you go. This is Wilder talking shit to Fury.
Maybe I put the volume.
Dude, what is my problem? Hold on, let me restart. Sorry, guys. Let me dude, I added the audio earlier. Okay. So I want that gone. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I have a little technical difficulties. I tried to add the audio earlier, and I guess that didn't. So 1 second. Let me present it again with the audio added, even though I did it the first time. But maybe I'm just entire screen, share audio. Yes, share audio. Okay, now we should be good. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mr. B. All right.
No problem.
Of course. And hold on 1 second. Sorry. Of course, I lost the freaking Wilder Fury thing. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I just got to look this up for you real fast. I had it up before, and then I don't know what I did. I rookied for you.
Was like he lost, and he'll lose again, and he lost.
All right, can you hear that, Mr. B?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, sorry, guys. 3 minute, 8 second clip.
Down in his soul, he knows that he lost, and he'll lose again, and he lost the first time, he lost the second time, and he's gonna lose the third time. And guess what? After this fight, he'll be back working in that fast food chain that he was working at earlier on in his career.
Yeah, Popeyes.
That's the only place he's going to be welcome.
It's easy to answer
Retirement for him. Retirement, Dosser.
Question.
Retirement, Dosser.
The answer to your question is why you changed for the first and second.
No, that ain't the answer to the question. That's another question. So that's not an answer. If I only won because I cheated, why do all this extra training? Because obviously you can beat me with the old training you was doing as long as I didn't cheat.
So ask yourself that question.
You got to ask yourself the question. If I've done all this cheating,
I see nervous energy.
Yeah, then why has he not prepared himself? He hasn't done any extra steps at all to stop me from cheating again.
Why you explain yourself?
I'm not explaining myself. I'm asking you the question.
You haven't denied any
what have you done
to this point.
I don't need to deny it because it's
you
true.
Know what I'm saying? You
it's
haven't denied any
I had knuckle
allegations.
dusters on. I had a turbo jets on me.
You don't even want certain media in here to give you the tough questions. You have nobody to give you the tough questions.
And there's nobody in here that can ask me a tough question.
So when it's like
you're in denial and you're getting knocked out.
Let's make it happen.
And you're going to retire. Retire.
You don't know nothing about knocking no one out. Do yourself a favor. You don't have knockout power.
Your legacy's in bits.
Even in my worst time, you still hit like a bitch. I didn't feel nothing.
No one's even believed you.
I didn't feel anything. You were wondering why I kept getting up and getting up. Because I didn't feel nothing. You have no power. You're not a knockout artist.
Well, I knocked you out, didn't I, Dosser?
Nah, I went out on my feet.
That's a knockout.
You got knocked out, Dosser. And guess what? When someone throw the towel in after the boss tell them not to do, the employee gets fired.
Yeah, but you said I had knuckle dusters on. Jay Diaz is in the room while I had the fucking gloves on. Why didn't he say something then? He's in on it too.
Don't worry about him.
He's in on it.
Don't worry about him. I handle my team
behind
like
you.
I handle my
Shelly
team.
Finkel, he's in on it too.
You handle yours like you handle yours.
You're a weak man. You get knocked out.
Thank you.
End of.
Thank you. I'm the one that defended my title 10 times.
I don't need to defend titles.
How many times have you defended?
That's for Dossers like you. Dossers like you defend them. I don't need to.
I've never had to cheat in years.
I've come here representing
you look up your history and you look up my history, which I advise everyone to do their homework.
Dressed as me on a training day.
You look up you and you look up me. I'm a nun in this sport, baby.
You will only ever be remembered for robbing Tyson Fury in Los Angeles
shit up my ass to make me feel a certain type of way.
That's your legacy.
I don't have to use certain things. I don't have to manipulate my gloves. I don't have to do those things.
You have to do it all. You have to do it all.
So at night when I look into
the mirror, and you're being trained by a loser, so that makes two losers. And you're going to get knocked out on Saturday night. No problem. I don't feel you because you're a lying little Dosser, insecure piece of shit. You get knocked the fuck out.
Get him, Fury.
Doesn't matter.
I'm good.
Because your legacy's already finished.
I'm good.
All the excuses, you've been done.
Can you say the same thing?
You've been done. Finished.
Can you say the same thing?
You've been beat, you've been humiliated, and you've been busted.
End of.
And that's it.
Yeah, dude. So with that said, man, this fight is going to be an absolute treat. You make sure you tune in because it's going to be fireworks between Wilder and Fury 3. I have Fury for an absolute domination and just chaos. I just think that Fury is in his head. He smoked them last time. He quit last time. I don't remember. I have a rule here. Tappers and quitters, I always bet against for MMA. So I'm all with Fury. I think he's the real deal. This dude is actually an inspiration. He had some mental problems with depression. He came off the couch, basically, like people called him a bum. He didn't have a chance. And dude, this guy Fury is an inspiration to all people, people that are overweight, people that have depression, people that have all kinds of other issues. So with that said, this weekend's pay-per-view of Wilder versus Fury 3 is going to be an absolute treat and chaos. With that said, Mr. B, where can they find you on Twitter always?
Catch me Mr. B at Mr. B 1986 on Twitter. Catch me here, Mr. B the MMA guy on Haps.
Nice, man.
We'll work my way to YouTube one day, but
yeah, YouTube ain't what it always all cracked out to be. I rarely push content there. My YouTube is MKOPE3 if you ever want to go on there. But I appreciate all 252 of you, 252 of you here live that have tuned in with me and Mr. B to rip through this mixed martial arts madness and the boxing extravaganza that's going down this weekend. And with that said, whenever Mr. B's here, we got the green light above us. That green light's on. That means we cash motherfucking bets. So that's all we do. Until next time, let's fucking go, baby.
Are you ready? Break it down! Degenerate into something cool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a break, boy. Yeah, that's a break, little man. Break it down. Think you can tell me what to do? Know who you're talking to? Well, you better get used to the way